Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so thrilled to be guiding you through today's topic. We're looking at a genuinely fascinating piece called Master of Two Worlds. And let me tell you, it completely flips the script on how we view consciousness and spiritual growth. We're going to explore a really compelling paradox today. What actually happens in our everyday, ordinary, daily life after a spiritual awakening? Now, if you've ever thought that reaching a higher state of consciousness means you just float away on a cloud, well, prepare to have your perspective entirely shifted. Let's get right into it.
So does spiritual awakening mean leaving the real world behind? For the longest time, the popular myth has basically been that to truly awaken, you've got to escape. You know the trope, right? Selling all your possessions, moving to some secluded monastery in the mountains, and leaving the messy, chaotic reality of modern society completely in the rearview mirror. But the source material we're digging into today challenges this head-on. It argues that this whole idea of escape is entirely backward.
Okay, let's dive into this. The text makes this profound assertion right out of the gate. The highest stage of consciousness? It isn't about escaping reality to find peace. It's actually about returning to it, fully awake. You don't abandon the material world. You finally learn how to actually live in it.
Section 1. The Great Awakening Myth, Living Through the Storm. Let's ground this ethereal concept right into our messy, beautiful human lives. Consider the completely unchanged reality of your day-to-day. You still gotta pay the bills, you still have to commute and go to work, you're still raising kids, making agonizingly difficult decisions, and fully experiencing both profound joy and total heartbreak. Outwardly, an awakened life might not look any different from an unawakened one. You don't suddenly get a free pass on being human. The modern stressors and responsibilities, yeah, they're still entirely present on your daily to-do list. But here is where the profound shift actually happens. It's the difference between living from the storm versus living through the storm. Before, the daily chaos of bills, work, relationships, that might have been the storm that generated your internal state. You lived from that chaos, reacting to it, spinning around inside it. But after this shift in consciousness, you're living through it. The activities remain exactly the same, but your inner state has fundamentally transformed. You're moving through the chaos without letting the chaos get inside of you.
And that brings us to this incredibly powerful quote from the text. The world no longer defines your inner state. Your inner state begins to shape the world you experience. Take a second and really absorb that. That is absolute ultimate empowerment. It means you can sit in a room in complete silence, center yourself, and then immediately step right into the roaring chaos of a board meeting, a crying toddler, or a financial crisis, and not lose a single fraction of your peace. You become the anchor in the room, rather than just a leaf being blown around by everyone else's wind.
Section 2. Action without attachment, engaging without clinging. This is where the practical application of this explainer becomes incredibly exciting. Listen, you can pour your energy into building a massive, successful business. You can hustle, you can create, you can strategize, but, and this is the absolute key here, you do it without building your core identity around it. You don't need the business to tell you who you are or what you're worth. You're actively engaging with the material world, for sure, but you aren't letting it trap you.
And we see the exact same principle applied to wealth. You can absolutely earn money. Earning money is just a basic necessity and function of the world we live in. But the awakened state allows you to earn that money without becoming psychologically owned by it. The money sits in your bank account. It doesn't sit in your soul. It's a tool you use, rather than some master that dictates your peace of mind or dictates your actions out of fear. Let's look at how this builds across all the different areas of our lives. You can love completely, but without clinging out of insecurity. You can lead a team or your family, but you do it without that frantic, heavy need to control every single outcome. You can serve others tirelessly without sacrificing your own well-being. And brilliantly, you can win. You can totally win without needing that victory to prove your worth to the world. The action is fully there, but the desperate attachment to the outcome is gone.
So we arrive at this beautiful summary of the concept. Outwardly, your life might look exactly the same to someone passing by on the street, but inwardly, everything is different. You've achieved the ultimate freedom. Because think about it. When your identity isn't tied to your business or your money or your victories, what happens when things go wrong? Even if you lose in the material world, and look, we all experience loss, you no longer lose yourself. Your core remains completely untouched. Section 3. The Sacred and Ordinary, Erasing the Dividing Line. And this brilliantly illustrates a trap we all fall into. We artificially create these boundaries in our daily routines. We fall into this trap of false divisions, putting spiritual things into one bucket and ordinary things into another. We separate our morning meditation from our afternoon meetings. We think stillness and action are polar opposites. We separate deep wisdom from the daily grind of work, or compassion from having strict personal boundaries. We think we have to choose between being disciplined and surrendering to the flow. But according to the source material, this division is a total, complete illusion. As the text so elegantly puts it, you discover there was never a line separating the sacred from the ordinary. That dividing line, it literally never existed anywhere except in a human mind that imagined it. The moment you realize this, the entire world opens up to you. You stop waiting for your 20 minutes on the meditation cushion just to feel peace, and you realize that peace is available to you 24/7. Just look at how this completely transforms the most mundane aspects of your day. When that imaginary line vanishes, ordinary spaces become awakened realities. Suddenly, the kitchen becomes a temple while you're just making breakfast. That stressful office environment, it transforms into a masterclass for your own patience and focus. Every single difficult conversation becomes a mirror, reflecting your own inner state right back to you. And every challenge you face isn't just a stroke of bad luck anymore. It becomes an initiation, an opportunity to step up. Every single mundane moment is actually an opportunity to embody awareness.
Section 4. Escaping the real prison, identifying the true trap.
So if we aren't supposed to escape the world, what are we actually trying to get free from?
Well, this highlights a really profound paradox. We often seek spiritual growth because we're stressed and we just want to break from life, right? But the great paradox is this. The more conscious you become, the less you feel the need to escape life. Because true awareness doesn't launch you into outer space away from your problems. It actually anchors you more deeply, more fully, and way more peacefully right here into the present moment of your actual life. And here is the realization that finally sets you free. Life versus identification. You finally realize that life itself, the bills, the jobs, the relationships, the ups and the downs, was never the prison. It was never the thing holding you back. The prison was your psychological identification with it. Freedom doesn't come from leaving the material world. Freedom comes from no longer being psychologically imprisoned by it. When you stop identifying as the storm can no longer hurt you.
Section 5. Master of Two Worlds, bringing the stillness home. So the crucial point is that we need to fundamentally redefine what this looks like. The true master isn't the one who hides away in a secluded cave where it's super easy to be peaceful just because there's zero distractions. No, the true master is the one who can carry the profound stillness of that cave directly into the blaring, chaotic noise of the modern world. It's the ability to take the wisdom you found on the mountaintop and apply it directly to the responsibilities of everyday life, bringing the peace of the soul into every tough conversation in every single ordinary moment. The text concludes with this absolutely perfect summation, because mastery isn't choosing between the spiritual world and the material world. It's remembering they were never two. They were literally never separate. You don't have to choose between being successful and being spiritual. You don't have to choose between being engaged with society and being at peace. Becoming the master of two worlds simply means integrating these seemingly different realities into one unified, incredibly beautiful human experience. And that leaves us with a question to take into the rest of your day. How will you carry the stillness of the cave into your noise today? The very next time you're stuck in traffic, the next time your inbox is completely overflowing, or the next time you face a really difficult decision, remember that you don't need to escape. The kitchen is the temple. The challenge is the initiation. You are already in the exact place you need to be to practice this mastery. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I truly hope this perspective empowers your very next ordinary moment.